If you pick the wrong girl to date, it will be a disaster for you. How? Because a woman who is going to cause drama or problems in your life is going to make life not fun, less productive. Down the line could be an absolute disaster for your finances and for your mental health. So first, you want to stay away from the party girl. Do you know who the party girl is? You might not. I know this sounds obvious, but sometimes we make excuses for who we think is a party girl and who is not. But any woman who's going to be doing a lot of drinking and or drugs on the weekend, who binge drinks, who likes to have a cocktail, most nights of the week, and I don't mean just one, but like 2 or 3. The woman who's always looking for a party, and I know that you might be in your 20s, and this is what people do when they're younger. It doesn't matter whether they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. If a woman is doing a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs, going out a lot, trying to be social and not doing it in the sober way, this woman is going to cause problems in your life. How, you might ask? Well, of course, there's the obvious. If she has addiction issues and she's doing a lot of drinking and doing drugs, obviously that's not a quality person that you want to be with. That person needs help. But I mean that this person who's partying all the time, usually that goes along with a lot of other qualities that's not going to be good for you to have a person like that to date. They're going to be a little bit more messy, a little bit more irresponsible. They're going to be very moody because they're a person who's binge drinking and partying all the time. Maybe they're a person who parties so much it's going to cause a lot of jealousy, whether it's in your life or in her life. That might come up because she's doing things under the influence. Again, stay away from this woman. Here's number 2. Any woman who is not cooperative / argumentative / sarcastic. A lot of this goes under the radar. Any woman who is going to have super strong opinions where she's kind of shoving them down your throat and being in your face a lot with it. Any woman who's funny, but in that kind of sarcastic way where she's kind of teasing you and giving you shit. Yeah, it might seem fun. Maybe you're kind of into that because this woman's a little bit different from other women, and you guys can have some funny banter back and forth. But at the end of the day, when you guys are in a serious relationship and you're months to years down the line, this person is going to cause trouble in your life. That's because these are signs of a person who's not easy to get along with. And you might not see this right away, but I would look for signs of her always trying to be right, always trying to force her opinion, especially though it might be different than yours. Someone who's teasing you and sarcastic a lot and just kind of making a lot of jokes, which again can seem funny, but usually this is a sign of just a woman with a lot of masculine type of energy, which you're not going to appreciate down the line. Let's talk about number 3, which is the woman who is very spontaneous. And by spontaneous, I mean impulsive. This is one that I want to talk about because this is a woman who, similar to the person who parties, is going to be very fun at first. You're going to think, wow, this girl's so fun, so energetic. She's the life of the party. This is great. But women who are generally spontaneous all the time or very impulsive, like all of a sudden she's saying like, oh, let's go on a trip here, or it's 2 a.m. Let's go out and get burgers and do something like that. Again, once in a while, that's totally fine. But a woman who's consistently doing this, who's impulsive in her actions, who doesn't think through things and just constantly is looking for adventures or ways to be spontaneous. I've seen this before, anecdotally. I've seen this in other women, guys who I know, clients who have dated these kinds of women, and it ends up a little bit nasty. That is because impulsivity is actually a sign of a potential mental illness. Someone who has borderline personality disorder, someone who has bipolar disorder, someone who is anxious, being impulsive or spontaneous is a sign of that. So again, to be clear, it's okay if you're with a woman who's spontaneously once in a while, who does an impulsive action once in a while. We all do, and there's something fun about that. But look for consistent behavior of that happening all the time, because that can get very dangerous. Now there's 2 more here, and these are 2 that are super important. Before I get to that, you have to understand that it can be hard to be going out there and finding the right women to meet to make sure that you are vetting properly. We help you with that over here at the Trip Advice Accelerator Coaching Program. We help you find the right women, vet properly, and be able to tell all the different signs to make sure that she's going to be someone who's going to be a great partner in the future, or someone who's not going to cause drama in your life. If you need help, go to tripadvicecoaching.com www.thebigwin.com. Link is in the description down below. Do a free call with us to learn about how we can help you with this and get more dates with actual high quality women. Next, the woman who doesn't show interest in you. Let me be more specific because this also goes under the radar. A woman who doesn't ask you a lot of questions about yourself, doesn't ask how are you, isn't interested in who you are, what you like, your feelings, any of that. And here's the thing, a lot of guys can get really super attracted to a woman, and because she's just around showing attention in any way, just talking, but mainly talking about herself, that can be this sign where like, yeah, this girl really likes me. But if she's never interested in who you are as a person and never trying to really get to know you, but still sticks around and still wants to see you, this is a bad sign. Again, as a man, we don't have a lot of options, so we get caught up with the wrong women. This was inspired by a guy who actually wrote into my podcast and he said, Trip, I don't know what to do. There's this girl who I go on dates with. She likes to see me. She's practically my girlfriend at this point, but she never asks anything about me. What should I do? And I told him, well, one, you should probably bring that up to her, but two, this is a huge red flag. Someone like this is potentially narcissistic and very selfish and is probably not looking out for you in the long run, just wants to have you around so she can get the attention that she needs. So this is now not a real relationship. And next, any girl who is consistently acting depressed, anxious, or worried. This is not a woman you want to be with, because they have issues in their life that they need to solve before they can be in a successful relationship. You cannot be in a successful relationship with someone if you have a lot of mental disorders that you have not actually fixed yet, that you have not given any attention to. A lot of that stuff plays out in relationships as drama. Now again, it's very easy when a girl is really cute, really pretty, maybe the sex is really good, you're having a good time with her, she's showing you attention, and oh my God, you just love spending time with this girl, so you start to overlook some of these things that she's maybe a little bit worried, acting anxious all the time, acting really sad all the time. All that stuff you kind of throw out the window. Even with her being a partier or impulsive or any of the things I talked about, you tend to overlook it. But all this stuff is going to come to bite you in the butt as you continue to hang out with this person, because now they are going to be all about them. They're not going to be able to show any sort of connection with you, show any sort of feelings towards you. It's all going to be this weird thing that's happening where it's all about her, and now it's not a real relationship. So look out for all of these things when you're with someone and dating them.